And his brother, Monster. Welcome, my friends, to JAKQ dengekitai. Before we begin with the review, let me address a couple of things. Yes, I know that the intro is way too long, but honestly, I really like the intro, and in my opinion, it's not that much of a long intro, so I decided to include it in. Plus, it's optional, so if you want, you don't really need to watch the intro in order to watch the series. You can just, well, skip it. And if that sounds like me being ungrateful and turning down criticism, I do apologize. In the next video, I will include a short version of the intro. Plus, I will correct some of the mistake I made in the Go Ranger video. First off, they're not spandex, they're just regular jumpsuit because they're not tight and stretchy. Plus, I didn't review the 5 episodes with each general, which I actually didn't know they were generals, unless I missed that in the subtitle. I did talk about Daigoro and how he replaces Daida, but what I didn't mention, at least I assume is a mistake, is that he was going to be there for a limited time, not being a permanent replacement. The one thing I'm hoping is that this video will be more better than the Go Ranger video. Alright, let's get on with the review. Go Ranger at the time was a big hit. When the series ended, they wanted to do more Go Ranger, but rather than another season, they went for a sequel, with new characters and theme, but still going with the spy genre. Now, despite what we think, both Go Ranger and JAKQ was never meant to be a Super Sentai season, at least later on. Like I said, it was more of a sequel to Go Ranger and never originally made a series called Super Sentai. In fact, going by the wiki, it was just called Sentai. The next series, Battle Fever J, was the first Sentai to be called Super Sentai. The first time both of the series was officially part of the Super Sentai lineup was O Ranger. Like Go Ranger, it was dubbed in English and was renamed to Lucky Aces. What's interesting is that I thought that Go Ranger was the first series to be dubbed in English, but no, it was JAKQ who was the first. Why the sequel first? I don't know. Anyway, let's get on with it. The theme song is pretty damn awesome. It's catchy and smooth, and I especially like this singing part. Already is one of my favorite songs from the Showa era. We open on an island, a bunch of planes called the Devil Sharks flying out. Yeah, I'm not a physics expert, and clearly Sentai isn't either, but I don't think rounded propeller ain't gonna fly. I'm just saying. There was an air battle going on, and then we cut to... Oh wow! I have a feeling that every Sentai villains from the Showa era always look ridiculous. I mean, look at him. The extremely fake beard, the goofy hat which I thought was his hair, and to top it all off, eyeliners. Yeah.
There, sure glad I don't look stupid in this.
At this point I give him a new nickname, Afro Pirate Man, as I like to call him. Anyways, our main villain Ironclaw sent an attack on Tokyo. A monster named Devil Killer started attacking people. Our general decided to form a team of cyborg to stop the evil organization called Crime. Yeah, real good name right there. We cut to a guy riding on a horse. Our character Sakurai would be Spade Ace. We learned that Sakurai was part of the Olympics, so he already has background in athletic stuff. Although at first, he turned it down. Our next scene is at the airport. Our next character is Hiyashi, Diamond Jack, a former boxer who got arrested because of a murder scandal which he was framed. We cut to a father and daughter spending time together. The character Karen... No, not Dad. I meant Heart Queen. She's a policewoman who is also a detective and a martial artist. I'm starting to notice that half of the characters in this season always have background in athletic stuff. That could be me. In a car drive, a truck driven by the crime shifted the car off the bridge and nearly killed Karen, but her father did. Sakurai saved Karen from the burning car and later in the hospital. Are you kidding? Being a cyborg is awesome. Sign me up! And then we cut to a coffin for our next character, Daishi. No, not that one. It was explained that he drowned. Later, there's a filler episode focused on him and explain how it happens. He was in a submarine and was running out of oxygen. Full of people that went bonkers over atoms. So our three characters went under surgery and become cyborgs. Later, Sakurai joins in and ready to fight crime. Again, good name. Yeah, I smell a safety hazard with that entranceway. So our general, nicknamed Joker, introduces the JAKQ team. Sakurai is Spade Ace, Hiyashi is Diamond Jack, Karen is Heart Queen, and Daishi is Clover King. The name JAKQ is actually an acronym for each of the team's name. I am curious about the car theme. Like, when does playing car have something to do with wearing a jumpsuit and helmet, fighting fake looking monster, and a villain who just look ridiculous as hell? I know there's car themed sentais and vehicle sentais in general, but I can kind of see what they're going with. Car themes? Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe it's just a fashion choice and really don't mean powers, so let's move on. So they get an emergency call about crime attacking, so Joker sent the team out in a flying machine called Sky Ace. Like Go Ranger, it didn't have mechas but flying machine they used in combat, although compared to the Go Ranger, there's like less of that, at least from my experience. Sakurai uses cyborg ability to find a secret exit that crime used. The first time we see a Sentai season where the character also has civilian powers, in this case, cyborg abilities. Which is a thing Linkara dislike about in Power Ranger, like why did they need to morph when they're already powerful? I can explain easily. Their morphing increases their powers and strength, plus exclusive thing like weapons. There, not a problem. Unlike this pretend mentor, I can come up with a simple explanation. Well, not all the time at least. So they enter the secret exit and continue fighting the bad guys. They found a truck full of gold with crime driving. And then they suit up and fight. We technically get our first morphing sequence, though not through a device they carry around in their hands. Instead, they get inside this capsule thing and then transform. Going by how this episode was structured, we just met them. So let's talk about the outfit. And I actually really like them. Like Go Ranger, their helmet's visor, instead of being simple flat black visors, instead had this like pop out look, with holes on it so the stunt doubles can both see and breathe through it. They also have capes as well. I like the look in the body, like the slashes and the badges with each name. And I think the white sleeve added a really nice touch to it. Though what bothers me is that Spade Ace's helmet is colored, yet Diamond Jack, Heart Queen, and Clover King all have white helmets with their visor matching with the colors. Also, Heart Queen is basically Momo Ranger with the helmet. Obviously they're going with the cars theme, so I don't blame them. Our foot soldiers are crimers, basically a bunch of guys wearing spandex, trust me I can tell the difference now, with masks and gray shirts. The one thing you'll notice that in the first few episodes, their mask has the small holes for both the eyes and the mouth. It gives it more of an alien look, which is not that far off what we later seen, but then later on they give them red eye holes. Like the Zolders, they make noises like this. At least it's 35 episodes instead of 84. Overall, they're okay in my books. So they finish Devil Killer by doing a big attack called the JAKQ. Let me describe it as best I could. They put their heads on the monster, then jump in the air, spin around, then kick the monster, then put their hands together, and then the monster explode. Bizarre or awesome. So yeah, that was our first episode. It's pretty good, I guess. I like that even in a 20-minute episode, they managed to introduce the characters quite well. like showing their origin and what the character is all about without being rushed. Anyway, yeah, I preferred that over, rushed character development. So I think they did a good job right there. Though, except with the look of our main villain. At least later on, his mouth wasn't covered by that fake beard of his and took off the eyeliners. But still, that hat is awful. Now you may notice that the way I'm reviewing the storyline episode is a bit short. Well, the truth is that I'm not lazy. There's like a few storyline episodes as far as I know. There's like 35 episodes in the series, which making it, not counting Akiba Ranger because it's just a parody, the shortest Sentai season ever, compared to Go Ranger with 84 episodes being the longest Sentai ever. So you might be wondering, what happened? Well, from what I researched from both TV Tropes and Ranger Wiki, it's pretty much the low rating that killed the show. The series was originally meant to be more darker and edgier. Yeah, even in 1978. However, this causes a problem, that being that it was way too dark to the point of alienating the child audiences. Oh yeah, because Go Ranger was definitely kids friendly. And yeah, I'm gonna continue making that joke, either you make me stop or I stop myself. Anyway, this causes the rating to sunk pretty damn low. Even with a change of tone to be more lighthearted, it still has some low ratings. So yeah, that's the reason, but hey, there's like a few storyline episodes I'll review either way. Episode 23 is the very first time we get introduced to a new ranger, though not 6, more than 5th, thus making it the very first time we see an X-Ray Ranger joining in. We begin with Ironclaw acting like he is hurting, and then we see his master called Shine. Shine is basically the true master of crime. We cut to the JAKQ team looking for a monster named Atomic Witch. They hear a violin playing and tell Ace stop the Atomic Witch. Yeah, I don't think that the sign screamed witch to me. After a fight with the crimers, they tried to finish her off early by doing the JAKQ. However, she managed to survive. So she tangled them with hair and then... Do I bother making a joke about it? So she was about to kill them, but then something attacked the crimers. So the rangers are free, and then they tried to find her. A young boy found the witch, so she chased him. But then they accidentally hit the boy and took him to the hospital. They asked a woman about the witch, but she said she didn't know about it. But we actually seen that she's actually the witch in disguise. So she followed them to the headquarters, which is just a building with literally says JAKQ headquarters on it. Good job, guys. Also, in the show, there's a robotic hamster named Mr. Hamster. Now that is just cute and awesome. So the rangers meet the guy who is sitting in the commander's chair, and then we see who he is.
JAKQ dengekitai koudou taichou.
No, you're not. You're Shime Akira. No joke, that is the same actor. In fact, he's pretty much a veteran when it comes with playing Super Sentai characters. Later on, he also plays the chief in O Ranger, and once again playing Big One in Gao Ranger. He even plays both Owl Ranger and Big One in the Go Kaiju movie. Speaking of Owl Ranger, there's a crossover movie about JAKQ teaming up with Go Ranger, so that meant the actor plays both of the Rangers. From what I read, they didn't see each other in their civilian form, only when they form into the Rangers. To me, it would have been cool if they're actually twin brothers. I mean, would you think it's cool? So anyway, Sokichi shows a video from Joker. He says he's been promoted to be a director of science and technology in New York, and he leaves Sokichi in charge. I know his name is Bamba, but yeah, let's face it, that name is ridiculous, so Sokichi is a better name. Jack at first never trusted him, but Ace revealed that he's actually the final piece for a new weapon. The alarm hit and they watched a security video about the witch stealing the map to the weapon bases. Is that even the right parole? I don't know. And then we meet... this guy, Hime. Oh boy, this guy. I'll talk about him later because trust me, this guy sucks. So the Atomic Witch put a tracker to send a signal to the Devil Shark to attack the weapons base. Both Sakurai and Karen were in the Sky Ace fighting the Devil Sharks. The remaining Devil Shark managed to destroy one. The Witch placed another tracker and then destroyed the base again. The Witch continued placing the trackers to destroy all the weapon bases. They need to come up with a plan before she destroyed the JAKQ headquarters. Again, just a building with a sign that says JAKQ headquarters. Well hidden. Shut up, Hime. So the witch disguised once again to try to kill the boy to cover up the loose ends. The boy kicked off the mask, revealing the witch. Exactly how that mask fit that rectangle shaped head of her. She escaped, and then the JAKQ team goes to the hospital to find her. She disguised once again and tricked Jack and King. What was the point of that edit? Anyway, so Kishi's in the office and confront the witch.
あなたの体重が300キロであることを教えてくれていますがね。
How does she not feel the bump in the carpet? Is it flat?
お化けだ。
When a small flower knock off a mask, I think that counts as wearing a really cheap mask. So she escape again and get to the headquarters until the JAKQ team block the road. Should I be surprised that that violin can shoot bullets? They tried the JAKQ Kovac once again, but failed. Can't say it's true. So Big One yells Big Bomber. The Rangers assemble the Big Bomber, which is a cannon. I'll give them credit, at least their finishing weapon wasn't revolve around sports balls. And then Big One put the missile and then fire at the witch. Who's immortal again? Before I'm done with the episode, let me talk about the outfit real quick. I friggin' love it. The white and the rainbow design looks stylish, clean, and awesome. I think the rainbow represents the JAKQ team, though except one of the colors is yellow, not pink like our queen. Why? I don't know. And since JAKQ is canon, it makes him the first White Ranger, putting the rainbow aside. Overall, his outfit is pretty damn awesome, like I said. At the end of episode 27, where everything is a freaking Nazi theme, I don't know how the series continue after this and Go Ranger. The Rangers meet Shine, warning them about the upcoming threat. In this case, it's pretty disappointing, so I'll talk about it when we get to the season finale. Episode 29. We begin with Ironclaw doing some Buddha chant about reviving a monster, with a pretty bulky shoulder pad, which you'll see a lot in the later monsters in the series. Later, the Crimers attack the base. No big surprise there. Sure, why not the Native American stereotype as well? It's the Showa era, they might as well get away with all the stereotypes in that era. So the JAKQ showed up and fight the monster named Great Chieftain Mantis. Again, why not Native American stereotype as well? So Mantis got away. Later he raided a truck, but it was all a trick, and then JAKQ showed up. So they used the big bomber on Mantis, but he managed to survive. Basically he's immortal by Ironclaw doing some Buddha chant. Big One went after Ironclaw until he disappeared. So Tsukishi met a snake catcher asking for Ironclaw. He says he didn't see it. Of course we can tell the friggin' obvious that it's Ironclaw wearing the disguise, but Tsukishi didn't. Good job. So of course Ironclaw started attacking until Tsukishi was separated. So Mantis talked to Ironclaw and showed him the map to the ISIS? No, that's different. Trust me, I didn't hear the pronunciation clearly in the show. So Tsukishi tracked down Ironclaw in a hotel. Mantis noticed a glowing thing on Ironclaw's hat, of course, being a tracker. By the way, how does he hide his big beard? So Ironclaw dresses as a woman and even sounds like one. Get used to me pointing out sentai logic here. A hotel employee, who is Tsukishi, discovered that the woman is really Ironclaw. When does a taxi driver dress as a biker pirate? So he takes Ironclaw to a temple. Meanwhile, Mantis and the crime are starting attacking until the alarm hit. Shut up, Hime. Once again, Tsukishi fooled Ironclaw with a disguise. This episode is full of back and forth with the disguises. It's great, mostly because Tsukishi is awesome. Ironclaw do see the disguise and attack him. Once again, Ironclaw disguised himself as a woman. Even he had enough with this guy. Once again, Ironclaw disguised himself as a woman at the playground. Should I insert a clip from Rocky Horror Picture Show? Did that count as making a stereotype of themselves? So they fight each other once again, and then Ironclaw escape. They again disguise each other, Tsukishi as a janitor and Ironclaw as a statue, until they finally stop. Tsukishi formed into Big One, but Ironclaw escaped once more. After the fight with JAKQ and Mantis, they formed a big bomber. Like the Go Ranger Storm, the later episode had the missile turn into different forms, depending on the theme of the villain. In this case, Spiderweb. And that finally killed Mantis. We're at episode 34, near towards the finale. I count the both of them as a two-parter for obvious reason. We begin with a map painting about a new plan by Shine, about putting rockets in the island. We cut to someone sitting in a chair and oh wow. Now that is the most ridiculous monster of the show right there. Anyway, he reveals himself to be in command, but Ironclaw didn't like the idea until Shine showed up. Now Ironclaw will work with Great King Icarus. Yes, that's his name. The plan, named Operation Stardust, not him, is about putting rockets on the Earth to move the planet to the second galaxy where Shine is. They get a report about the Sky Ace approaching.
いいですね、お二人さん。空のランデブー。
It's funny because they never stayed together as a couple when the series ended. So the Devil Sharks attack the Sky Ace. As they fight, they're low on fuel, so they had to retreat. They learn about the island where the crime is, so they headed there to investigate. So both Sakurai and Karen were in a speedboat until the crime spotted them and nearly killed them. They swam to the island until one of the crimers was shooting them. Sakurai managed to stop him, but Karen got shot in the leg. Karen wants to go, but Sakurai wants her to stay because her injuries is slowing him down, and if he doesn't come back in 30 minutes, she'll leave the island. He sneaks around to investigate something and learn about the plan, and then Icarus shows himself and Sakurai get trapped. It's been 40 minutes and Karen is worried about him, so she starts looking for him. She climbs a cliff and then falls until Big One catch her. He says that the only way to get through is by the vent. She wants to go and save Ace, but Big One wants her to stay because of her wound, but she still wanted to go either way, so Big One takes her with him. Ironclaw watched him through her camera and then... Okay, I'll give him credit. At least when you see his second form, he doesn't look like cult leader Goofius. They were ambushed by the crime. Karen ran away, and Ironclaw fight Big One. As Karen tried to escape, the crimer shoots and she fell. They think she's dead, but she survived. Icarus trapped Big One and tried to attack him, but Ironclaw wants Icarus not to interfere. So he cuts the ring and let Big One get away. You know, you could have killed him when he was trapped.
Shut up.
So we cut to the headquarters and, geez, what happened to his face? As far as I know, he wasn't hit in the face because he has his helmet on. And yet, we see bruises. Worst helmet ever. Shut up, Hime.
バカにつけるくせない。あった。
Thank you. Karen continues to sneak around and find Ace. So the crimers were about to dismantle Sakurai until Karen attacked them. Yeah, it's not like her leg is hurt or something. So they roped down a cliff and then headed to the bridge. One of the crimers tossed a grenade at them, and despite how big that explosion is, they somehow survived. Because sentai. Icarus were looking for both Karen and Sakurai. The crimers find them, and Karen got shot again. Sakurai wrapped some herbs around her leg, but actually there were poison ivies and makes her wound worse. I'm kidding.
口を聞くな。急に触る。
The hell does that even mean? Don't speak because it won't heal? I don't get it. Icarus and the crimer found the two of them, leaving it on a cliffhanger. And now, episode 35, the season finale. After they were caught by Icarus and the foot soldier, Shine came in and stopped. He commanded them to ditch the mission, and they follow, until a second Shine appear. The fake one is actually Tsukishi. Nice. So Big One fight Icarus, and then the other came in and rescued Sakurai and Karen. Icarus insults Ironclaw for not helping him, and then Ironclaw kill him. We cut to the JAKQ team. Karen's about to die unless she gets a surgery, but the only one who can do it is Commander Joker. The Joker arrived, and then Jack tells him about Karen needing surgery. But suddenly, Ironclaw showed up. He calls Jack about kidnapping the Joker's wife and daughter and meeting him at the pier. Jack wants to go, but Joker wants to keep going so Karen can have a surgery. Jack immediately turned around and headed to the pier. So Ironclaw threatened the two of them to get in the truck and forced them to call the rest of the JAKQ team. So Kichi gets a call from Jack about the hostage, and King gets a call about Karen's injury getting worse. The doctor explains that the circuit is getting overheated, so a surgery needs to be done right now, but the Joker is still not here. Sakurai says that King used to be a scientist, and he asks him to do the surgery. King hesitates for a moment, and then he doesn't want to do it, fearing that he will fail. The doctor says that she only has 2 hours, but then Sokichi got an idea. So they use a tube to freeze everything. That way they can safely get the others without setting up a bomb and get shot. So they put the frozen Ironclaw in a box, and Sokichi ordered to bury it. So they unfreeze the Joker and the rest, and then the Joker finally performs the surgery. Karen is now good to go. So the Ices, whatever crew takes a box and bury it, but then Ironclaw woke up. Then the Sky Ace landed on the island fortress and attacked the crime. Meanwhile, Ironclaw attacked the headquarters, then Tsukishi showed up and fight. Clover King and Diamond Jack set up a bomb and blew up the lab, while Spade Ace and Heart Queen are fighting Shine. My god, it's Sputnik! So JAKQ escaped and the whole island blew up. So both Big One and Ironclaw continues to fight, and then JAKQ showed up. Ace revealed that Shine is actually just a small ball and he makes Ironclaw into a puppet. Yep, this big boss that episode 27 teased that he's gonna be a major threat turns out to be a massive disappointment. What a surprise! So they attacked Ironclaw. Of course, since he's the main villain, he is stronger than the Rangers. Then what's the point of Shine again? So Big One showed up and they formed a big bomber. They fired a cannon and the missile turned into a giant rat. Yep, rat. And then Ironclaw died. So he is strong enough to withstand the attack from the Rangers and yet not an exploding rat. What a pathetic weakling. And that's how JAKQ ended, because it was cancelled early. Now in my reviews, my critiquing is both biased and a bit off because again, I'm new to this whole reviewing thing. The one thing I'm expecting that as I continue making this series, I might get better in the future. So what's my thought in the series? Well, in general, it's a mixed bag. For the most part, it just feels similar to Go Ranger. Think about it. Other than the characters and the theme, both of them is about a terrorist organization attacking people, though in Crime Case, wanted to take over the world, plus Ironclaw's second form looks better than Führer. A military organization form 5, in this case 4 people, with powers and new suit to fight the monsters. As far as I know, there's not that much difference between the two shows. Even the title card for the commercial break had the exact same music, or at least sounded like. They also use a flying machine, you get the point. I'm not saying that the show is bad because it's just repeats of Go Ranger, there's more things to talk about. In my opinion, the later episodes are fun to watch. With the first few episodes, they felt more slow in the structure, felt more like a spy drama. Which to me, doesn't really fit well in a show about people wearing multicolored jumpsuit and fighting rubber-suited monsters. The later episode, they changed it to be more lighthearted and goofy, which I do think is better that way. Though story-wise, it's not that much to talk about to be honest. Do I think that the tone shift is a bit jarring? I honestly don't know. That's how I watched the show. I didn't see how jarring the tone shift can be. The characters are mixed as well. Some I like, some I don't. Sakurai is okay. Like I said, he was an athlete in the Olympics, so that meant he's already capable of acrobatic and martial arts style of fighting. In episode 5, he lost a girl he knew. Then in episode 11 is about a guy that he was best friend with in the Olympics who joined crime until he betrays them. But other than the episode I just brought up, he's just okay, not the worst at least, but okay. Higashi is a bit boring. I know there's a couple of focus episodes that are good, but other than those, he's just there for the most part. Daishi on the other hand, he's a pretty good character that I absolutely like, though only in the later episode when he was more lighthearted and fun. Where in the first few episodes he was just not that interesting, though one episode he was actually good in, and that is episode 4, which is one of the early episodes I actually like, but I always prefer the later episode of Daishi. Karen is alright as well. The one thing you'll notice that in the series is how often people that she knew died. Her dad, her mother, and her friend. Her life is sure as crap. I wonder if the same thing will happen with Sakurai. The one focus episode that I like is episode 9. Though they could have just changed the morphing footage when she got a haircut. I'm serious, they just keep using the footage when she had her hair longer. Overall, she's an alright character. So Kishi is just awesome. Full stop. He is sly and cool with his performance. He is also a master of disguise and at one point dresses Hitler. Can we move on from that? Though despite him being a ranger, he's rarely getting into fight. The only time that he did get into fight is when he fight Ironclaw and maybe that chameleon monster. But other than that, I really like this character. And then we get to Hime. Obviously throughout the video, I hated his character. His comedy is just way too forced and painful, and the jokes are just unfunny. He's also a huge idiot. One episode where a little kid claims that he sees a monster, but but Hime says that there's no such thing as monster. Do you not know about the organization you work with? You know, the organization is all about stopping monsters. And hell, going by Japan logic, monster destroys there all the time. Big, small, whatever. You are an idiot.
あんたやないさっきUFO 騒動は流れ星かなんかを見間違えたと言っとるがなもし有名な学者が
Shut the up.
The villains are bland, to say the least. There aren't that many main villains like generals or something. The only thing we see is Ironclaw and Shine. Ironclaw was just a one-note villain who just sit around doing nothing, unless an episode where he fight the Rangers. As I said before, I like villains in both Power Rangers and Sentai where they have more development than just one-note characters. Diabolico is a pretty cool villain, both for his design and his voice. And his development is that he was once loyal to Queen Banchura until he felt betrayed by her. He's even ready to destroy her with the Rangers. Daishi/Jared from Jungle Fury. He began as a selfish bully with the power of the lion and then later got possessed by an evil spirit. And then later on he learns to redeem himself. Meanwhile, Daishi is an intimidating villain. Zed from Tokyuger, one of my favorite Sentai season. Rather than just being all about the darkness, he just likes something that is bright and shining, and he likes to have fun with himself. I even like his acting. And in general, he's always my favorite villain. Ironclaw, just some random dude who sit on his ass and doing nothing until the episode where he fights. Yay! Same with Icarus and Shine, although he was teased, but never goes well. Overall, it's an okay series. Not the best, not the worst, though I still have like 42, or in this case 43 Sentai seasons left, so maybe I will find a Sentai that is either the best or the worst of all time. Who knows? Next time, let's travel around the world for Battle Fever J.